Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever we find you. Welcome to Trading Syndicate. I'm JJ. How's everybody doing? Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm long 75.17 and 75.17 half. Oh, sorry, no. I'm long 75.17 on one batch, 18 on the other. I'm selling them up here at 23. Inventory is short. We are correcting inventory, my friends. So you want to make sure that we are selling into strength. Almost out. So overnight inventory is short. Overnight inventory is short because the bulk of the trading is underneath. This is a previous day's close. See? So you're looking for this. That's why I'm long, right? That's why I bought 17 half, 18, and I am selling them like I stole them. I'm good, Trader1. How you doing? So for an entry right now, I would say if you want to build a position under VWAP, right? Wait for the market to. We got sellers at 23. I'm out of my trade here. I'm getting out in the 23s. If it goes up to 24, great. I've got a couple that I can sell at 24 quarter half. Right now, I can't give you an entry because I'm already long and selling. I wish we had started the stream a little earlier. But I have been telling people that I have been going long in the room. So had you been in my room, you would have been positioned long 17, 18 and selling into these 23s. It's not a bad little trade. You know, you do 5, 10, 15 contracts and you just sell them into strength. It's not a big deal. I took the trade after this flush. Then I knew that was, that was a quick sale. Took back 14. Once it held the 17s, I went long. My stop is at the bottom of these candles, so I'll outline the trade. Long, stop is here. Sell, sell, sell. ATL, it's not retail traders only, it's all traders. So for example, right, trapped into Globex going into RTH. Well, overnight inventory is what? ATL? Short. Okay. So if you look at the overnight, what do you see? You can see a position. There you go, Sergio. I was looking for a deep discount, and that discount brought in the buyers. Right? This is the WD-42 for one. Right? Attention Walmart shoppers. For 2 minutes on aisle 19, right? On aisle 19, for 2 minutes, you get, every time you buy a can of WD-40, you get one for free. So that brings in all the buyers, and then we can raise price, right? So I did that. I didn't mess with this, and I didn't mess with this. I was a little late. I probably could have bought the 14s. Let's just say I wasn't really on my top game. So I waited until it cleared that standard deviation. I went 17, 18 long into this. Now I'm gone here, right? I'm goodbye bedtime for Bonzo here. I'm 23s, I'm gone. I know VWAP is here. So ATL, where the pimps and the players dwell, is here, my friend. Right? Those who are long, what they're going to do is they're going to try and get up here to the 32s and blow the majority of this off here. Those who are short will be short in this box. And when they go to cover, they're going to be the lighter fluid or the barbecue starter that helps give us that little push. So we're waiting for those big green candles, right? Well, you want those big green candles. If we get a big green candle over VWAP, see, they're starting to cover. Now there's going to be some supply somewhere here. You know, like somewhere over the rainbow. It's kind of like somewhere over VWAP there's going to be a seller. Right? How did I know it was not going to keep going down? Well, that's why you got to stop, brother. Right? It's also a look below and fail. We hit those single prints. Remember the single prints from the overnight, the night before? We went in there by one tick. I left them up. There is a short position here. We did have a poor low. We broke it and popped back up. So it was a look below and fail, right, of the poor low. See, we're starting to catch a bid. Yeah, I didn't look back as far as the 21st, Matt. I'm just going by what I see here. For me, Matt, the less information, the better. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's there. It's a look below and fail of the previous day low. But I didn't even see that. I was so focused on the candles because my best trades have been coming from the candles. I swear to God, these 1 minute candles have been gold. Only after I took the trade, I realized it was a look below and fail of the previous day low. I had the thing like this when I was trading, right? No, it's okay. Like, honestly, for me, the less information I look at, the better. I need to know just enough to make money. Too much information is information overload, right? My overnight low needs to be moved. Oh, okay. Well, it's right there, isn't it? It's 4? 4. Yeah, okay. I struggled with information overload for a good 2 or 3 years, right? Because somebody said you got to look at this and you got to look at that and you got to look at this and you got to look at the VIX and then you got to look at the Twix. And then you got to look at the Mars bar, and then you got to look at the sun as it goes behind Mercury in retrograde. And if the squirrel outside your window only takes 2 nuts, then you go long. If it takes 3, you go short. You guys have all sorts of rules, right? But nothing that's actually important. Like, so I'm looking at the VIX. Who cares? 17.29. Big whoop. Right? Who cares? It's not making me any money. I can tell the market's not volatile by the price action. What do I care about? Where the hell are the sellers? Because the sellers are like trial lawyers. They're in the bushes. They're waiting to jump out and cut your throat and take your client. They stop selling when they see buyers and raise price. That's all you need to know. You need to know where the sellers are initiating and where they stop. Guess what? That's the top and the bottom of a candle. I'm trying this new coffee with creatine in it and some other thing, some kind of mushroom root. Why is everything that's supposed to be healthy taste like crap? Ugh. Blah. Blah. Leaping lizards, that is not tasty. Yeah. It's nasty. So if I sound like a dog with peanut butter in its mouth, oh, yeah. Yeah. No. I'm in the UK. No magic mushrooms here, my friend. Now, if I was back in Canada, probably. See how we're pushing above VWAP? So, my friends, if you're long, I'm gone, right? I was 18s. I was long in the 18s and out. But if you are still long, your target's going to be 32. I am on the carnivore. It's good. I've lost 44 pounds doing that. And that ash stuff cloner, I can't pronounce it, so I don't put it in my body. If I can, I'm just joking. My girlfriend is really, really pushing on. See, there's 32. Look above and fail. Okay, we're open. Sorry. We're open. Now, let's see. What do we got? Inventory still long. I mean, short, right? It won't be corrected until we go hit that 5 o'clock close. So I'm looking for a place to buy some cheap paper, as they used to say on House Street. As the Penguin would say, can we get some paper? Yikes. Woof. Okay. Alrighty. They've been racked and stacked here. Just at 33. Right? That seller is still there. They were there hours ago. Bastards are still there. If you're shorting that, right? If you're short, that's your get the hell out of Dodge level, right? If we start offering over where there was a heavy seller before, then you know that you've lost your backup, right? Inventory is short. It makes sense to be long. If it comes back and bids 33, 34, I'll buy it with a stop under 32. right? Thank you, Blackhawk. That's where the seller was. That should be support now. There you go. Long 34 out 37 and some at 36. The trick is if you're trading a breakout, which this is, you have to have your sell orders in because it's not going to last long. It might, but why take the chance? Right? If you are long 34, 34 and a half, why not sell at 36 and 3/4? Get paid because the sellers are now here. Yeah. If you know where the sellers are, you've got an edge on pretty much 99% of the traders who are trading this market right now, right? So by the way, if you were long, you should have sold, right? Holding runners is great, but if the environment does not support holding a runner, take the money. Wouldn't you have traffic to the left before 32? That's why I'm long 34, Milo. And see, now it's getting underneath that white line. The reason I took the trade, Milo, if you were listening, I took the trade here before I took the trade, stopped there, and sold. Very simple. If we get under 32 and we get underneath the bottom of this candle, maybe Pollux. But Pollux, what's overnight inventory? It's an inside day, brother. It's an inside day. And overnight inventory is short. So if you're looking to short, you want to take hit and run shorts, right? Because you're trading against short covering. You know what I mean? See, look how it looks below 32 and pops. So where's the bid? The bid's right here, my friend. So you would look for a 32 short, but when it does that, it says wait. Wait till they're finished selling and have to put it on sale. Then you can go short. Yeah, because inventory is correcting higher. If you didn't see inventory correct higher, right? Why 32? Because it's my level. Milo, looky here. 75.32. That's why I said the target was 32. Top of the zone, man. Simple. Whoops, what the hell did I hit? Sorry. There you go. We're back. That was weird. So that's why. 75.32 is the level. That's why I said the target is 32. And then we popped it. Focus on my levels, man. Focus on my levels. Then focus on the traffic. And then look at the traffic at that level. I know it's a lot. Don't worry, you're getting there. Right? You're getting there. It's just putting it together can be a bit of a pain in the ass. It's just repetition. That's all it is. It's just repetition. You know, I was watching Chester Thompson play the drums yesterday on this old YouTube Phil Collins video. You guys know who Chester Thompson is? One of the greatest drummers. And if you sat down and tried to play the drums like him, it'd be horrible, right? It's just practice over and over and over and over again. Look below and fail of 32 animal hustles, but we do have sellers at 35 and 37. So if you build a little long position here, right, make sure you put some sell orders out to tell whether the trade's going to work if you want to hold runners, right? There's nobody old enough here to remember Phil Collins. Well, his band had this drummer. His name was Chester Thompson. Amazing drummer. Or like, okay, let me use a Canadian reference. Neil Peart, Rush, right? Neil Peart stands alone. You're not going to be able to play the drums like Neil Peart if you just sit down at a set of drums. It's just going to take practice, right? Practice, practice, practice. That's what trading's all about. Well, you know, Moto Mike, some of the kids in my building were talking about these music festivals, and I looked at the videos, and there's DJs, there's no bands. And these guys are all just kind of moving back and forth like they're at an aerobics class, holding their phones. I don't know. Kind of miss the old mosh pit, you know? Remember Lollapalooza, 1990s? The mosh pit? That was the way to go. It's holding 32. But if you're longing this, if you're going long, your exit is really 32 right now. It's kind of slowed down here. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is just practice. Yeah, this is distribution. 32 to 36, right? Nice, calm, gentle business, right? There's enough buying that you can sell your product over 32, but they're not like they're not knocking over your security guard to get to the cheap product. Now I think it'll break, right? Because it's just trading so gingerly. This is kind of weird, right? I could be wrong. Right, now the candles are failing to even. So here, let's see. We need to get a touch of 32 and then below, right? Very, very. It's really slow. You don't want to sell too much up here. You'll scare the buyers away. You sell just enough, and these algos they're just beautiful. This is trading more precisely than any market maker could trade. And I've seen some pretty beautiful market making in my time. But the algo just stops selling lifts, stops lifts. Look, see the white line? Right? See, that's why I bought it there, because it didn't tag the white line. Here it tags. The offer has moved up. The bids are following the offer. The lows of the candles are getting higher. So now we just need to see whether we can crack 36, 37. Oh, thanks, Milo. Right now, I would not do anything, Attila. It's too slow. I need more customer traffic. This is a wholesale business right now. You could try and trade between 33 and 36, but you have to be kind of really precise. And I'm not that precise this morning. I'm a little sloppy. I think I'm getting like aftershocks from that coffee. Well, if NQ is going to rip, that's a good thing. We got lots of inventory under 31 to get rid of. So let's take ES and blow it up. I'm all for that. But right now it's a little slow. We've been making good sales, right? Because the overnight point of control, which is just a fancy way of saying where we bought all the crap, is here, right? Down at 17. We're blowing it off up here between 32 and 36, right? So your inventory is priced here. You're selling it here. It's beautiful. And everybody says, well, why don't they take it higher to sell? Because there's competition. There's more than one trader sitting here at 36, 37. Every single algo is parked there. Now they see bids, they raise price, right? And there's your wick. There's your wiki twicky, right? And it's just telling you time. Now let's see if that wick converts into a solid thing. If it doesn't, it'll pop back under 36. Let's see where the buyers come in. Where the buyers come in, the offer will move and raise and go up. If the buyers run out, the offer will move lower. That's really all there is to it. And then the rest of it is just watching and training your eye to see it. Right? So you were saying now this price action, this brought in buyers. Let's see if it can bring in buyers for more than a minute. Good. We got to clear out that 39 and a quarter seller. And then we'll be looking for yesterday's close. And inventory will have corrected. It's exactly the same business, Milo. But my trading style and my execution has to change. We are constantly adapting. So elaborate. That's why when people ask me, do I hold runners? I do not. Because this market is volatile. Big green candles, big red candles. So I'm very happy to take profits on every single trade. But it will change, right? But do I ever see myself automating my trading? I think that would be beautiful. I don't have the foggiest idea, Mike, how to do it. the other thing too, Mike, is, I mean, I mean, I have nothing against automation. I just don't know how to do it. That's number one. Number two, I trade for like relaxation. You know, like those old people, they're sitting by the lake and they've got that paint by numbers and they're like painting. That's like me in trading. So it's like, it's a form of, like, it's relaxing for me. So I don't really want to automate it, right? What the hell would I do if I automate it? I'd have to like learn how to build like model airplanes or something. Yeah, it's got to be some math. Exactly. There you go, Pollux. Yeah, like I'm like Bob Ross when I'm trading, right? Now, when I'm making a market or I'm selling 100 million shares of stock for a client, I am the worst nightmare devil you'll ever see. I will literally chew on your skulls. But retail trading is like relaxation, right? Happy little candles, right? But you give me a million share order and tell me you want to fill, I'll rip out everybody's throat to get your fill. And that's the difference between institutional and retail. And now institutional trading is really it's all automated. A good executing trader is hard to find. There was an episode of Billions when they had to actually do trades on the phone, and only two guys knew how to do trades on the phone. It's a lost art. I don't think it's hard to automate. I think it's hard to automate with small size, William, because my strategy is automated already for wholesale. Right. So what we're doing is we're just trying to catch a ride when wholesale leaves the bus station or the loading dock. I don't know, but I don't know anything about automation. So you guys figure it out. If you can do it, do it. Right? You do want some of that. I'm just talking myself, Jimmy. You got to remember I've been doing this for 34 years. So this is relaxing for me, right? It's like the difference between a mechanic who has to fix 20 cars a day and then when he's retired, he's fiddling and fiddle farting around in his garage on an old car. Yeah. There must be. We've got a lot of smart math people in the rooms, right? Do I watch the VIX or any other correlated assets? Dear God, no. It's funny that I was just talking about that about half an hour ago. When I'm in a trade, all I watch is this. This is all you need, right? I know there are sellers here. I know there are sellers here. So if I were to go long, say 36, 30, say if I was long 37, I know by the time I get to 40, I better be selling. And then I know I'd be out by 40, 41. Hey, Donna, how you doing? Now, I've got nothing against correlating assets, right? But if you're a retail trader, it's a waste of time. What you want to do is you want to watch the traffic on the street you're trying to cross, not on the street 2 blocks over. The reason why retail traders don't make money is they don't know what they should be looking at. and they're focusing on the wrong thing. I want to know where they start selling and where they stop. Can I trade between and make money? Yes, take the trade. If I can't, wait for better business conditions. Right? Exactly. You went long at 37, you sold 40. 3 points in, out, thank you, come again. As Harold and Kumar would say, thank you, come again. Right? It's a simple business. Ends well capital. Now, if I was a fund manager and I had 100 million or 50 million dollars at work, I would correlate, I would hire, I would hire a propeller head, pay him a couple of $100,000 a year as an analyst, and you have him run all those fancy formulas and everything. But as a retail trader, just handle your business, right? Get in, get out, get paid. I mean, Mac just made 3 points, right? It's $150. 3 contracts, that's $450. Do that trade a couple of times a day, you're making $900, $1,000 a day, 20 grand a month. I know maybe 1% of retail traders are making 20 grand a month. The reason I don't correlate is because I need to concentrate. I need to concentrate on this. I don't know, Matt. I think we're still going to see some inventory correction upwards. We still haven't tagged the close, and there's some stops in that overnight high. We could go and run that. We're still inside the previous day's range. I don't see a short yet because I see the offer moving higher, right? It's okay. Also, what I see is I see a staggered distribution, right? This is like almost like a robotic distribution, and then up, sideways, up, sideways. See? You don't want to short that. Do you know the documentary series Baseball by Ken? No, I don't. There's the close. So we've corrected inventory. Let's see if we can go up to that 45. I'll go check it out. That's good. Nothing wrong with focusing on technical analysis. Try and mix in a little bit of common business sense with your technical analysis, right? And that'll give you a nicer tasting soup. Technical analysis is great. Blind technical analysis doesn't make anybody money. You can understand why your pattern is happening. You can understand the business reason behind it. And the cool thing is, it's not that complex, right? Right now, the inventory is underneath us. We are marking it up and selling it at a profit. So your trend lines and all your indicators will all say, oh, it was a buy, above VWAP, or I don't know what you guys do, but I can tell the inventory is underneath us. We're going to go take it and sell it, right? I do like baseball. I haven't watched baseball in a long time. Last time I went to a game, it was Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr., the Mariners. There's the overnight high. If we can pop that overnight high, we can go tickle. Oh, crap. I'm going to go draw the stops. I didn't have the stops in. Here are upper stops, these green lines. Those are your upper targets. Oh, I love the history of the American financial markets. I'm a big financial history geek. Next stop, we're looking for just under 50. And the catcher's mitt, right? There you go. No resting orders, Milo. Right? There's no pillows here. Right? No, they're just stops. The reason is, say if you were short here, this would be your stop. If you were shorting here, you'd use, and the longer the candle, the more people that's at the stop, right? I know. I just like the, I just get this every time you guys use that word resting orders. I always see like these little trade tickets on pillows sleeping, right? It's a very strange visual for me, right? You know the Monty Python skit with the dead parrot? You sold me a dead parrot? No, he's not dead. He's just resting. Resting orders. Oh my God. He's pining for the fjords, Leslie. He's pining for the fjords. Yeah, like Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, exactly. Another classic. Okay, we're getting off left field here. Oh, how to tell if overnight inventory is long or short? Real simple. Okay. So here's the close of yesterday, okay? There's yesterday's close, right? All of the trading, except for this tiny little chunk, is underneath yesterday's close. So inventory is short. Now, if the trading had been above yesterday's close, right? Say the overnight session traded up here, then it would be long inventory and we'd be looking for this. But because we're underneath yesterday's close, the inventory is short and we're looking for this. See? Very simple. It's the volume and time spent above compared to below the previous day's close. That's all it is. And all it does is it tells us, listen, you know, yesterday we high closed this thing, right? Everybody got short. Everyone was caught short under here, right? So the night allowed those people who were short up here to cover with some decency before they rail it back up again. You want to fade the inventory if the inventory is telling you it's a fade. Now, sometimes what would have happened tonight if overnight inventory was short and we didn't get this? What if we got this? Then we know, hey, don't mess with it on the long side, right? Don't fade it. So, yeah, you're right. It tells us because 60 to 70% of the time it will correct. How many of these do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Two more. Now we're in 8 times cost basis. We want to keep it simple. The more simple this is, look at this. This is like such a robotic distribution. Look at that. Just like boom, boom, little sale, boom. It is so perfect. These algos are scary, scary precise. And see, B opens, comes all the way down to that overnight high, stops to the tick. Why? Because there are people short underneath here, and they all came in and covered, and that's why you got that pop. It's pretty cool. We used to see a lot more 50-50 trading around the close in the old days, Jimmy. And it seems like inventory is either significantly long or short. That's good because that means the business changed. So that's very good that you made that, right? Now, how do you adapt to that change? Right? So inventory is now significantly long or short, which means the markets have bigger ranges. They're more speculative in nature. So you can take advantage of that by trading those inventory corrections. And because it's either long or short and significantly, you have more opportunity, right? So that is a change. You know how you guys always ask me, how do you tell if the business is changing? What Jimmy just said right now is exactly how you look at markets and see how they change over time. And then they change back and then they change again. How do we adapt to that change, right? It's one of the hardest things. One of the hardest things is being able to know when a market's changing and how to adapt your execution. That's one thing. The other hard thing to do is to be biased and trade against your bias. To be like short biased, but when you see that your short's not working, you got to flip to go long. I found that was one of the hardest things to do because my bias a lot of the times because I've been a seller my whole life. So you just keep thinking they're going to sell it down, but they don't, right? They don't because they don't have to make their Ferrari payment at the end of the month. Their Ferraris are paid for in cash, right? Till I figured out that these bastards, there's 53, that these bastards have paid for their Ferrari, that they don't have a Ferrari payment like a stock promoter, they don't have to sell. They don't have to sell. Or their Ferraris are leased and they're using margin collateral loans and they don't sell their stock. It's a very different, the S&P, the ES is very different. Now they're going to blow some stops over 54, looking for 75.66. Where's my half-hour candle chart? Oh, there it is. So there is a seller at 56 and change. Now all the inventory is underneath us, eh, folks? This is our half-hour candle chart. You can see all the inventories underneath 51. There'll be a seller here. Be a little bit of traffic. As we move up, just using the tops of those candles, because you know that's where the sellers are waiting. They sold there before, they will sell again, right? They have to, because they're size sellers. See, look, it stopped to the tick. They sold there on the 17th. They're going to sell there again. Why? Because there's buyers. Hit them, hit them, hit them. Let's see if we can stay above 52. No, by people trying to do business and make a living. Milo, you got it. What are you, a communist? Indicators are sold by people who are trying to make a living by selling their indicator. Right? Don't hate the player, man. Don't hate the player. This is commerce. Right? Listen, if you introduce me to some dude who's making 150, 200 grand a month selling an indicator, I will shake his hand. Right? Pimping ain't easy, Milo. Pimping ain't easy. If you can make a buck in this business, as long as you're not outright fraudulent, right? Sell, right? This is commerce, right? But I will not beat up on someone for selling an indicator. If you can build an indicator, sell it and market it and get people to buy it, I will shake your hand because you're a good business person. Right? I don't have that much to sell you. Right? I just want you guys to understand how the business works so you can make some money. And then go sell whatever you want. I would hope I should do some classes on stock promotion and distribution of securities. I should hope that all you guys go get your own deals, go make 50, 100, 200, 300 million dollars. That would be cool. Right? It's funny, I got this buddy Jack and I'm teaching him the biz. He's already a successful business person. But he's got a son. His son is like 3 years old. I'm like, we need to start teaching the young guy because I don't have any kids. I need to download all my information into somebody. We'll get him, we'll get him running deals by the time he's 8, 9 years old. Figure he should be retired by the time he's 16. When I was trading, I knew a kid in Florida. I was about 27. He was 25 years old, and he had learned at the hand of one of these old, just proper villains. And this guy had like 50 offshore accounts, 6 active deals, and he had made probably $300-400 million already by the time he was like 25, 26. Pretty amazing. Hey Raj, what's going on? Tick strike, the audible tool for trading? Nah, that's not going to help me. It's just going to help. It's just going to make me miss the old days. That's all. It's just going to get me depressed. If it's supposed to emulate the noise of a trading room, that's just, for me, that's just depressing. Once you've been in the real thing, nothing really compares. Seller at 50. It's starting to get really slow here, folks. Today, 11 o'clock. Everyone, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We have our trading execution workshop. It will be recorded. The link will be posted. It's very grindy, Tim. So what I'm going to do, because we're going to do this, yeah, it's an inside day, exactly. Right? Inside day, trade a little less, relax a little bit, it's Wednesday, take a bit of a breather. So what I'll do, yeah, it's summer, man. Like I said, we're supposed to be at the beach with those little umbrella drinks. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be sitting in front of screens. It's freaking July. Do I look for larger green up candles for an easier way down? Not really. I really just look to see where the seller steps in, Milo. That's the whole thing. So the sellers were here, down here, down here. Right now they're here, right? And I'll be looking for buyers as we come in to this area here. That's all. See, the offers move down, and that's why you get that trend line, right? Yeah, here's the thing, Milo. Focus on what's important. I told you, top of candle, bottom of the candle. Look to see where the sellers are. Look to see where they stop selling. Focus on just those four things for now. And get it so it is like breathing for you. Okay? There's a lot of stuff that's going to distract you. That's cool. Right? Remember, there was a little position here and a little position here. So we stopped right there, and they're trying to get people to buy it higher, but if they can't, they will come down, and the next support level will be here. If you can focus on that and get it so you've got those four things down, like solid, that's what you want. Then other things will start popping up. But by that time, you're going to be consistently profitable. So you won't really care. Right? Once you start making money consistently and you have things that work for you, you have basically you have an established way of doing business. If something comes along that is not in that established way of doing business, you will ignore it. right? Like if I was short right now, right? If I was short right now and I had some bids here and somebody told me, JJ, you need to look at the VIX. Am I going to look at the VIX? No, I could care less what the VIX is doing. I care about the offer, right? That's all you got to do. Hey folks, I'm going to wrap up this call. Keep your eyes on VWAP and we'll see you all at 11 o'clock, okay? My doctor's office is on the line and I got to take this call. I've been waiting. Thanks everyone. We'll see you in our next session at 11 in the room. Thank you folks. Bye for now.